Professor Ariel in the house.
Good morning.
You're a little nervous?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Cool. We're just hanging out. Hanging out. Want to just acknowledge and kind of celebrate you. You guys getting your black belt a lot of years.
It was awesome. Well, you were there, and I was the first one. It was like kind of really stressful. I melted down. I cried the whole way, and I was like, all right, bye. Thank you, bye.
How many years have you been training?
I started in July 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
7.5 years.
7.5 years, yeah.
Cool.
But I had before that I was training a lot of Muay Thai.
Okay.
For like 4 or 5 years. But I was training like every day, like twice a day with Paulo Tosha. If you heard of him, he's the guy in Bloodsport.
Oh, okay.
Like the Thai guy in Bloodsport. And he has like
that's right.
Yeah, so I was training with him like
Nice.
most of the time. And
In Hollywood?
In Hollywood, yeah.
Cool.
There's like that little gym called Pitcher Molly Boxing, and I was basically doing privates with him, but like I was doing like a lot of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And one day I was like, you know what, I want to fight on the ground also. I want to be able to fight off my back and like fight on the ground. And one morning I was like looking for places, and I went like the closest to my place was at the time Club Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mark Bradford, and that's where I met like all my friends like Ricky, Monica, Andrea, Anthony, Brian. All of these guys now have gyms, and like they work here, Revive. So
Yeah. What made you want to get into martial arts?
in the beginning,
Yeah.
I was really obsessed with like MMA when I was like
Okay.
when it started. Like I was like.
You watched the early UFCs?
I
Like
watched
Hoist
really
Gracie?
Yeah, with Hoist Gracie, and it was funny because with my friends we call him like the master of keys because he was like arm barring everywhere. Because like in French you call him like une clé.
The locks, yeah,
It's a
like
key,
the-
a key lock, and we
like
used to call
submissions,
him
yeah.
like without really knowing his heritage and like who he was. We were like fascinated by him. Like he was just arm barring everyone and choking everyone. And
How old are you now?
I'm 38. So I
38.
started when I was 31.
So yeah, when was the first time you started watching the UFC? How old were you when you
I was
when you
like
saw Hoist Gracie?
17,
17.
16,
Okay.
17, 18,
Yeah.
And I was, at that time, I was working mostly in fashion
Okay.
with my mom, so I never got a real time to train or, like do anything like that. And when I moved here, I had a little year of adaptation, like when I moved from New York to here. And, like after a year, I was like, oh, you know what, let me try Jiu-Jitsu. And I went at the first class, a 6 a.m. class. And it was Michael Chang, the
Michael
brown belt.
Chang, yeah, of course.
It was Michael Chang, and he was like, oh, you like Jiu-Jitsu? And I got hooked, like, instantly, every single class.
Michael Chang, shout out to Michael Chang.
Yeah.
He got a lot of people going. The 6 a.m.s. A lot of guys
Yeah.
that became black belts.
Yeah, a lot of them, yeah. So I got hooked, and I started training every single session. I couldn't move, and it was like, I was really enjoying it, like, I was enjoying, like, I was getting beat up. Like, all these guys were beating me up. And I was like, okay,
Were you still at? Was it in Gardner or was it on
on
Sunset
Gardner.
still? Okay.
On Gardner.
Okay.
On Gardner. Yeah. The timeline was you had a little seminar right when I started. I wasn't at the seminar.
Okay.
Like it was for Andrea's dog that got ran over. I don't know if you
yeah.
remember that.
I remember the.
Yeah. So I started right at that time. It was like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I was gonna ask you. What about what about training made you fall in love? You think with it? You said you were getting beat up, right?
Like what I really liked is that when I was on the mat, I had no anxiety. Like it was like my safe space, and I was, and when I'm rolling or training with someone, there's no bullshit. Like it's like a moment of truth where, like you cannot get out of, and there's like no bullshit around, and that's what I liked about it. Like and
Completely present.
yeah, completely present, and I like the physical effort of it. Try to control someone, and I really loved it. Like in the beginning, I was getting beat up for like about 6 months, and you get small victories. You didn't pass me. Oh, like I kind of swept you, and I really enjoyed it.
What was your first submission?
A number.
An armbar.
Armbar. I like armbars. I really like armbars. Yeah, I actually actually tried one yesterday, flying one. I hurt my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I went, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
So tell me, like you grew up in France, right?
So I was born here. I was
Okay.
born Northern California in Big Sur,
Okay.
and as a kind of hippie community.
Mm-hmm.
They all naked. They grew up weed like under the sequoias, and so my parents split up, whatever.
Uh huh.
And I moved to the south of France when I was 4 or 5, like something like that, like really young, right? I didn't really remember when I was here. And I stayed till I was 20, and I moved
In
to
France?
Yeah, in
Uh-huh.
no. I moved to Paris,
Oh, gotcha.
like for work and like all that, fashion.
But
stuff.
you moved to France when you were 4 or 5.
4 or 5 in the south of France. So
The
I
south
was
of France.
Yeah, south of France. So I did a little bit at my great grandmother's house, like because my mom was working, and and from like 7 to 18, I was in Nice, south of France,
Okay.
where I had a little bit of martial art experience with judo. So I got all the way. I mean, not all the way, but like green and blue belt. When you're a kid,
Yeah.
so like almost blue
You
belt.
trained some time.
I trained like 2 years of judo, but like I was young. I was like 9, and then I went and I played like tennis. I played a lot of tennis.
Why'd you do judo? I guess judo's so big in France. But
Yeah, everybody does judo in France.
Okay,
Oh, he wants to do a martial art, and she wanted me not to play soccer because I don't know.
Soccer was more dangerous than judo.
You know what? Soccer is pretty dangerous. And, I mean, not dangerous, but like you get hurt like quite often, and
Okay. Yeah.
I really like both. But judo is like a quick experience.
Yeah.
I did judo 2.5 years,
Nice.
and then I transitioned into tennis, where I played like a lot of years of tennis. They have this thing called sport études, which is you go to school in the morning and you train like all afternoon and all night,
Okay.
right? So from 8 to 12 I was at school, and from like 12:30 to 6, 7 I was playing tennis. And
Wow.
and I did that till I was 11 to 18. And I hurt my knee when I was like 17, so I lost like 6 months. And when you're 17, like you're starting to like see girls and like parties, and so I kind of stopped tennis, and I went to Paris for work, and I started working fashion. And then I moved back here for a couple years.
You went to New York, right? First.
No, I came here from
okay.
21 to 20, just 1 year.
Okay.
And I didn't really like enjoyed it yet when I was 21. Like it was like a big, like vast city, and I didn't have my driver's license because in the south of France you don't need it, really. And I had a little scooter that I was like sharing with my friends.
Here in LA, you had a scooter?
No, in
France,
in
yeah.
France,
Yeah, yeah.
in the south of France. So like I didn't have.
I have a
time.
scooter that Professor Alshana went on the freeway with
With a scooter.
with the scooter. he followed the GPS,
Really?
He should have taken the back roads, but
my God.
somehow he ended up took the ramp into the 101.
Oh no.
Luckily, it was a Sunday morning, but there were
Oh,
still big
okay.
trucks. No, but still.
No, I know that's scary. Yeah.
And I just see him showing up with the bump at, the helmet, He's like, oh my God, I almost died.
Yeah, of course. Like it's like you're going like 35 on a like crazy on the freeway.
Yeah.
And where was I?
You were in LA, sorry. You
Oh,
were
I was in LA
and you were like,
1
it was like
year.
spread out. You didn't have a driver's license.
Yeah, so I didn't really enjoy it, and because I came from like Nice, which is a city, a very small city, and I had a really hard time to adapt to like a bigger city, and I felt like I was a little too young, so I moved to New York.
Okay.
And New York, I stayed like 8 years, and
Stayed in the city?
stayed in the city, started working here and there, like a lot of parties, like when I was, younger. And I moved back here when I was 30.
Okay.
And 6 months after I started Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
And
Came to LA to start Jiu-Jitsu then.
yeah, pretty much. And I haven't stopped ever since. Like I put aside all my projects,
Yeah.
from work, and I really committed to it. And it's my biggest sports achievement, like to get to that black belt level, and it's not over. You know, like
Yeah.
my wife's like,
Just the
"Are
beginning.
you done now? You know, like you have your black belt, you can do something else." Like, no,
Yeah, it's just
you
the
know, like,
beginning.
it's just the beginning. I have so much more to learn and so much. It's almost like infinite. You know, like the amount of knowledge, and you keep forgetting stuff as you learn stuff. So you still have to. It's like a loop.
Man, it's interesting you say like the first things that you noticed when you started to train jiu-jitsu was you were like more, like less anxious, more calm, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still today,
Yeah.
still to this day. You know, like,
Yeah, and so I remember that not things I have anxiety, but just gave me peace of mind because I had
Completely.
a hard time, I think, just sitting down and just sitting still. I was always doing something, and it just made me like
sorry.
gave me peace, peace of mind
Mm-hmm.
after training, more so than even before, because I right away the first, I don't know, maybe 4, 5, 6 months even, I didn't see the UFC.
Okay.
I just did it because some friends of mine were doing it, and then my friend armbarred me the first day like 10 times. But
Sorry, how old were you when
I was
you started?
18. Yeah, 18,
Okay.
yeah, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, let's go again. But it's just the way I felt after. I was able to completely put everything into it, and I was, just totally present, and just give me peace of mind.
Yeah, completely. To this day, you know, like I come in here, you know, like problems of life and stress, and you come in here and you forget about everything.
Yeah.
You know, like you roll and then you're like, oh, I felt better. You know.
Yeah,
And then you go back to the stress.
yeah.
But
But you feel you're better the rest of the day.
yeah, completely.
And,
yeah, of course.
Overall,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you keep doing it right.
Yep. Well, I'm never gonna stop at this point. You know.
That's it. Yeah, it's a lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I changed my whole life because of it. You know, like I'm lucky, you know, like that I have the opportunity of doing that. You know, like through my parents that gave me that opportunity. You know, like it's a blessing that, you know, like she gave me that opportunity to be able to train as much as I train, and she's been very helpful. And I mean, you've met her, and she's like an amazing person. She's my mom. You know, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, she's great.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah, it's been you know, it's been quite a journey. It's you know, like the part that I you know, it's the injuries. The injuries, like they suck. But like you told me something like a year ago or something, and you always told me like mind over body. You know, like you have to be in the gym, and you know, like I've embraced that. You know, like even if I'm injured, I'm here. Even you know, like I'm trying to be as as present as possible. And it really worked out. You know, like my knees are getting better. Like now I get like, when I started, I was soft. I was screaming, you hurt me, you know, like, and now, you know, like I get tapped and I'm like, oh, okay, it hurts, whatever, you know, like.
Nice.
And so it made me like tougher, like for sure.
More
you know,
resilient,
like,
yeah,
more
tougher.
resilient. You know, like I, you know, like my like Marco called me in my how do you call that? Like the French toe hold.
The
right?
French toe
The
hold, yeah.
French toe hold. And he called me in the technique that I use, and I was like, oh no, don't do it. And my ankle pop, and I was like, you know, like
Yeah.
I would have screamed like when I was a white belt, and
Yeah.
now I'm like, yeah, you hurt me, whatever, and I just moved, and now it's completely fine. You know, like, and Rob helped me, you know, like
Rob
helped-
Miller, yeah. Shout
yeah,
out.
he helped me a lot through like movement
fit,
and
yeah,
stuff,
coach and-
like that. Yeah, and you know, like I wish I could do tag fit more often, you know, but I still warm up, do my own stuff, like
Do
with
into
tag
flow
fit.
and
Yeah.
all your
Mhm.
movements.
Yeah, I need it. I'm like really stiff.
Mhm,
I'm stiff as a board, so every chance I get, I do it. You know, like even after training, like the movement that you do after training, it's like helping me a lot. You
The
know,
cool
like,
down.
Yeah, the cool down has been helping me a lot. You know.
They call it compensation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
pulling
really
yourself
good.
in the other direction, right? With the stuff that you did.
Yep. It's yeah, it really helped me. Sorry.
No problem. And yeah, Robert Miller, we went out to Missouri together.
Oh
right?
yeah, that was a trip. He has his thing going, you know. Like I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Um,
We miss him though.
I do miss him a lot. You know, like
Me too.
I don't think I've. You know, I was working every other day with him, like,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
not
yeah.
every day. And
Yeah.
now it's like it's tough to, you know, like he really knows his shit. And
Yeah.
it was like,
A lot of years, a lot of.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I miss him. You know, like I wish he would come back sometimes. You know, because I don't want to go to misery.
Yeah, hope misery.
Yeah, I call it misery. Not, yeah.
It
It's 'cause
was.
of my accent.
Did you go to the river at all? Did you do anything, or you just went to the gym and that's it?
When in
When Missouri in
No, it
St.
was-
Louis, did you go and did you do
well,
anything?
we went. No, well, we went with you, and we went around, and we went to.
Did we go to the Arch?
Yeah, we
Went
went
to
to the
the
Arch,
Arch. That's how we
and
went to
we
Arch
did like
together.
the
Club
pictures,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
the club dev stuff. And no, I had to go right away.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I
Took the
only stayed a
taxi.
couple days.
Yeah.
I only stayed a couple days, but I was happy to see him. You know,
Yeah.
like he's a great guy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy he's happy over there.
Yeah.
I wish he would come back.
He got emotional, right, when thanking us, you know,
Yeah.
at the end of this 1st class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He never
I've
sh-
never,
yeah,
I've
right.
never seen him like that. I've never seen him
He
emotional. And
he
like,
wasn't expecting it.
was like, damn it. Yeah, he was. Yeah, but he helped me a lot throughout injuries with my knees, and you know, like we worked on like
Yeah.
movement, and it was great. You know, like and so now I'm trying to, you know, like approach it like, I mean, I know back in the day it was like pohada, you know, like and.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to, I'm trying to do the training sessions like hard, but I'm trying to recover as well. You know, like I'm not trying to go back to back to back to back to back. And like I used to, like I feel like I burned my body throughout my white, blue, and purple days. You know, like and I went super hard with everybody, and it was that, you know, like and you can feel it. You know, like with the guys that came from. Hollywood, we were just stupid. You know, like we were
Well,
going
like everybody didn't know, right? How
Yeah.
to do these recovery things.
yeah, we
Now-
didn't recover anything.
Yeah, nobody knew about all these things. Now, because that's what I needed. I wish I would have known these things.
Yeah, I bet.
20
you
years
know, like
ago.
the sport evolved. You know, like you want to
Yeah.
have more longevity.
And most
more-
people still don't know these things. You know,
Yeah, no, now I know.
they don't
and
know how
I'm-
they don't know how to do things the right way.
Yeah,
You know, the attack fit stuff the stuff that's in the attack fit. So yeah, yeah, some basic length flow, some compensation, right?
yeah. I actually like stole all the. I mean, I didn't steal, but like you know, like the privates that I give. You know, like to people that need. You know, my mom gives me
Yeah,
like
yeah.
customers. I do like all the tag fit like
Yeah,
start
that's it.
warm
It's not
ups.
stealing. That's
So
it.
I'm happy.
It's sharing. It's sharing. Yeah.
Because I do them, they do
It
it, and I'm
works,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So I do it pretty much every day, you know, like,
Yeah.
and I feel a lot better since, you know, like I do.
It's
them.
funny, right? Because when you teach, right, you do the stuff with them, and then you end up doing it with them to
Yeah.
show them the example, and then you're like, oh, this is.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
It feels great. I always do them with
Yeah.
them, you know, like, and like, oh, it's so nice. He work, you know, like he does the warm up with me because I was like, yeah, but it feels good for me, you know? But I'm not telling him that, you know, like,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, sharing, right?
yeah, sharing is caring.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and well, yeah, you know, like, and not only like within that, you know, like I'm really grateful that I'm teaching now. You know, like I have a couple classes.
Thursday,
Thursday,
7:30 slot. Boom. Professor
Advanced.
Anthony's. Yeah, advanced.
Yeah. So so how it happened is like Anthony like told Vitor told me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll be down. You know, like and like Vitor asked Anthony to ask you, and I asked Andrea to ask you, and it made it happen, and I'm so happy of doing it. You know, like I've been like, you know, like teaching here and there, like, you know, like classes covering it up, like for.
But not your time slot. Your consistent time slot.
Yeah. And I've been teaching for Professor Mark and Lulu, and now I'm teaching here, and I'm really happy because, you know, like teaching is like, first of all, I teach for others, and I'm trying to be like very consistent of helping everybody, and it takes a lot of effort and, you know, like consistency and like see and try to help like getting better. But I'm also helping myself, you know, like I'm studying, I'm looking at techniques, and I'm like, oh, this person like is like weak
Doing
there.
this
I'm gonna
good, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm really taking it seriously, and you know, like it's refreshing my memory on my own jiu-jitsu, you know, that you, because like there's stuff I'm like, oh, I used to do this and I don't do it anymore. And I really thank you for the opportunity of letting me teach within this school, and it's great. I really enjoyed it, you know, like I really enjoyed all the students. I don't have any problems with everybody. Everybody's really nice and, you know, supportive, like people calm, you know, like I'm having a great time. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yep.
For dedicating yourself and
Yeah.
the right approach, right? The right
Completely, yeah.
big heart and wanting to help people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. How was it growing up in?
I'm sorry.
No problem. How was it growing up in fashion, like in?
Oh, it's. I'm sorry.
No problem. I should have brought another water.
It's okay. Fashion is an interesting, you know, like I left because I hated it. It's like, it's nice, you know, like there's some, you know,
There's
like
good things.
there's good things about it, like everything, you know, like there's good things about it, you know, like the creation and all that is really good, but it's the fake aspect of it that is like really annoying that I couldn't then anymore. And you know, like you have to be fake with everybody all the time, and it's like, you know,
You have
like
to put a front on.
yeah, completely all the time, and you always have to be nice. And there's, I don't know, you know, like it's, I mean, I'm always nice in general, but like, you know, like with people that are annoying, it was like eating me up, you know, like, and it's a rough environment, you know, like, and I've done it pretty much. Like I've done boxes, I've done shipping, I've done like retail, wholesale,
Every
like,
part.
yeah, you know, like I've never really done creation, you know, like I cannot draw, first of all, like I can't draw for anything, but you know, like I've worked my fair amount of time, and you know, like I was just bored of it, you know, like, and you know, like I could still do it, but like I'd much rather do jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
and you know, like be happy, you know, like, and instead of being miserable. And you know, like it's something that Professor Mark told me, and I always found it interesting, is like you can work when you're older, you know, like you can enjoy yourself while you're young and like do the things that you like. And I'm really happy about it. I do jiu-jitsu all day, and I come here, and I, you know, like my whole like thing is surrounded by jiu-jitsu. So I
Yeah.
wake up, I take my daughter to school, I come here, I give privates, or I go like to have a little warehouse, I give privates, I come here, I train, I go back, I take my daughter, and then I come here and I teach, right? So that's my whole day. So privates, jiu-jitsu, daughter, right? And wife, you know, like at home, you know, like, hey, you don't do anything, what do you mean? You know, like, but
God bless, man. That's it. You know, like there was I saw like a reel with Dr. Dre, you know, and he's like, you know, the rapper, the
of
hip
course,
hop,
yeah,
the
Dr. Dre.
mogul, yeah. And he's just saying like, man, everything I do, it's like, I gotta enjoy it, you know.
Yeah.
Like life's short. Like man, like.
Yeah, of course, and I have like plenty of times to find something, you know, like that, you know, like that, you know, like if I want to work, I can work later, and then I have opportunities,
yeah.
and I take this as a blessing, you know, like
Yeah.
that I can do this and make my mind happy and like stress free for like the amount of time that I do it, and you know, like I'll figure it out later, you know, like
That's it.
you know, like everything's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
You know?
Because you're doing a positive thing that's helping people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Also, you know, like I'm helping people getting better. You know, like, and I, you know, like I don't know all of them, but like since they coming back, it must be helping them.
Yeah,
You know, like
100%.
you know, like it can be like they need friendship, or they want to be better, or they, you know, like that. I love this sport, and you know, I'll do it to the day I'm not here anymore.
That's it.
Yeah. It's
What are, in your opinion, what are the things that that keep us on the mat, keep us coming?
on the mat?
You said
For
just
me or
camaraderie,
for-
the friendships. Let's say for you. Yeah.
For me, I still want to get better. You know, like there's still like so much to learn, and you know, like little details. Because when you come to like technical level at black belt, it's like, oh, I'm gonna grip like this instead of like this, and I'm gonna try to do this. So I want to like get better and better and better, and then there's the people. You know, like like I've been friends with these guys for 10 years. I mean, like little less, but for almost 10 years now. So like Andrea, Felix, like Anthony, you know, like all, Ricky, Monica, you know, like, and I enjoy their presence, you know, I enjoy being here with them, and we enjoy choking each other, you know, like, and it's all within respect, you know, like there's no hard feelings whatsoever, or you caught me, I caught you, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's been like that for 8 years, and I
You-
really,
you- Build trust, right? And,
this is a great community, you know, like some people, you know, like some people look for community, they look for friendship, they look for, you know, like, how would you call that? Like, they challenge themselves physically, they want to lose weight, and, you know, like you do it in a great environment. So, yeah, there's no reason not to come back, you know, like, I mean, in the beginning, you know, like it was, you know, like some people quit, I don't know why, you know, like it's, you know, like if all the people that I hang around, you know, like they're all my friends, you know, like, and all the people that I didn't really like in jiu-jitsu, they all left jiu-jitsu. So
people that were in jiu-jitsu with you.
yeah, you know, like white belts, blue belts, and they like quit, you know, like, and that shows,
Interesting.
like character about themselves that they quit jiu-jitsu. And
Interesting about you too that you felt that you're like you don't really care for them.
yeah, there's some people that you don't like. They're being mean. They're being like, oh, like, and all those people left. I like, and to this day, there's not that many people that I don't enjoy being around here, or like any like West Adams or Glendale.
Shout out to Legacy West Adams,
Yeah.
Legacy Glendale, Anthony, Professor Mark,
Professor Brian, and
Professor Brian Pasadena,
and I
yeah.
trained with all these guys.
Yeah.
Like we all started. I mean, I didn't start with them, but like they were there when I started.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny. I was rolling with Anthony yesterday, and he was trying to sweep me with the first ever sweep that I rolled with him, and I will always remember. He sent me flying, like with a flower sweep. He just took me and like, all right, next, and I was like, damn, this is so cool. And he still does it to me. It's crazy. He still does it to me, and I hate it. It's so annoying. Yeah, he flower sweeps the crap out of me. Like if I'm not careful, like
base.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, I was gonna say, going back to, just gonna ask you something. I just went blank.
It's all right.
Man, it's driving me crazy.
Kevin, help us.
No, I was gonna ask you, what do you think about these guys? These like Mark Zuckerberg and all these guys. A lot of celebrities training in jiu-jitsu now.
I think it's great. I think
Because in the fashion, you see a lot of artists and different people.
It's mostly actors that are getting to.
Okay.
Like I don't think I've heard of like people in fashion really into jiu-jitsu, but actors, they want to get back in shape. They do like I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that Zuckerberg, he's a little awkward, like he's like, but I think it's great for the sport. Like it's only gonna get better. It's making the sport evolve. I mean, not evolve, but it's making the sport bigger. And I think it's great. I think it's great that he was at UFC 100 and what a card. It was
300. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was crazy.
The Max Holloway knockout.
Oh my god. Like I lost I'm sick because of this, because I yelled so much. I was so in shock that I saw that. I don't think I have another moment like that where I screamed so much for
what a moment for UFC 300, right?
Oh yeah.
For a guy like great. Max Holloway too, with a career, and to put that on his for the BMF belt also.
Oh yeah. It was unbelievable. It was the greatest fight. I mean, maybe not the greatest fight of all time, but it was the greatest moment, like in the history.
One
of
the
sport.
greatest moments for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, to me, it was
for sure.
Like it was unbelievable. But yeah, coming back, like I think
you almost can't make it up, right? That moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like last 10 seconds, it's a tough fight, right?
It was
a really good fight,
unbelievable.
and then last 10 seconds,
and Gaethje's staying in this fight like the whole way, like because he had his nose broken in the first, like he got the spinning back kick like to right the side of his nose.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great. But coming back to Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, like they want to fight. I'm not so much about them fighting. It will be entertaining. Like don't get me wrong, I will buy it just like to watch them fight. But it's great that like jiu-jitsu is like in the whole mix.
Yeah.
I don't like so much the celebrity fighting.
The boxing.
Yeah, I really hope like Jake Paul gets knocked the fuck out. Like
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I really hope he gets knocked out. Like it's getting ridiculous.
Like, what do you think about Mike Tyson being about 60 years old?
I think he's in great shape. No, he looks like he's in great
he looks
shape.
Great, yeah.
He looks like he's moving, and like he still punches hard.
Did you see the Evander Holyfield and Victor Belfort fight?
No.
Boxing fight.
Oh really? Did it fight? When was that?
Yeah, it was like 20 seconds. It was like
really?
Big time mismatch.
Oh, when was that? Like
3 years ago. I don't know.
Oh really?
Something like that.
Belfort won or?
Yeah, it was like in 20 seconds. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh. I remember about it, but I didn't see it.
It's
I didn't watch
just, like.
Yeah,
Evander Holyfield's
I'm not about
he's a
that.
legend, Like,
I mean, I understand it makes money. I understand it's entertaining, but like.
But I don't think Mike Tyson needs the money. I think he does pretty well.
No, of course he does.
So why is he? Why was he?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to knock him out. I don't know. Maybe he can't stand him. You know, like
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe actually, I know a lot of people want to see that. Everybody's gonna be tuning in just for that, that reason.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to knock him out. You know, like talks too much. You know, like you're annoying me. Like, all right, let me throw some shit at you. You know, see how you feel about it in the morning.
Yeah, let's see, huh? Let's see what
Yeah,
happens. Hopefully it follows. Hopefully it goes through.
Mm-hmm. Every time I buy those fights, it's, you know, like I'm a little bit hyped up. Are they gonna get knocked out? And they're so boring at the end of the day. You know, like they hug each other and like there's no, you know, like it's. I don't really like him.
Who was the last fight? The Mike Tyson. Who did he fight?
Fought
Boxing?
Roy
Jones Jr.
That was entertaining. That's old boxers. You know, like,
yeah, and I mean, that was fun, man. That was fun. I'm glad neither one of them got knocked out.
Yeah.
Just because Roy Jones also is such a legend.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it's just funny that them talking to Mike Tyson before, and you can see he's in his old school mode, you know.
Yeah.
And then they asked Roy Jones Jr. Remember that part? And he's like, man, they basically felt bad for Roy Jones Jr. Right? Like,
really?
No, then they interviewed him. Right?
Oh, okay.
How was it with you're fighting Mike Tyson? He's like, and then they interviewed Mike Tyson. He's like, man, what about me, man? I was worried about getting knocked out. Like, what about me? You guys didn't think I was gonna get knocked out?
I don't remember. That's funny.
Oh, you're Mike Tyson, yeah. But like, he's like, man, something could happen with me. So it's just funny, like those moments, and just hearing Mike Tyson speak too after, it was what a like moment, you know.
He's a man, you know, like it's
it's just,
that's what was, in my opinion, like so amazing about that like UFC 300 card, you know, like for like there's 10 seconds, like there was like I said, like no bullshit. It was two men fighting for like the title, you know, like for the BMF, you know, like, and there was like no outside noises. I mean, except the crowd, but like they just went for it, and it was amazing, you know, like, and we kind of like getting away from that, you know, that like men, you know, like, and you know, like, and it was great, you know, like I really enjoyed it, you know, like those 10 seconds were like amazing.
You probably understand that too, just being like in the fashion scene for so many years and just still being in it, right? But just to appreciate, right, like old school, like you know, like combat things and like
100%
man things.
Yeah, completely, 100%. Yeah, it's, you know, like
because you have to be real, right? You can't, like, you know, can't be disrespecting people, like, you know, like
that's what's happening
you know
in
what I mean?
fashion, you know, like people like treat each other so bad, and you know, like they're like, oh, this is my brand, your brand, oh, I have this deal, your deal, you know, like, and they're trying to like, and it's annoying, you know, like I don't have time for it, or you know, like it's consuming me, you know, like it's like I don't like it at all.
Yeah, they say what's the solution for like world problems, you know? It's like, dude.
I was thinking of a nap where you like, I call them like
a nap. You said
no, an application
app,
where you know, like it's a silly idea, but like if you want to slap someone, you just like, you know, like, and you just get one slap a day, you know, and you can just slap someone, you know, that annoys you, and you like free of, you know, like.
Have you watched Power Slap?
Oh yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. It's dumb, but it's fun. You know, like I watch it. Those guys, like, I wouldn't like to do it, like at all. I mean, not kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like one of the solutions for the world's problems, right, is to do jiu-jitsu, to do martial arts, to do this lifestyle, right? Makes
like
you a better person. Makes you.
The world is turning messy. You know, like between like wars and like. They locked us up for 2 years, and you know, like it drove people mad. It drove me mad personally. You know, like and everybody's like kind of on edge. You know, like, and all of that because of, you know, like locking people up for 2 years worldwide. It was insane.
Yeah,
and and now there's war here, war there. It's like, I don't know how to fix that, but like, you know, like for a moment, you know,
get people doing jiu-jitsu.
No, yeah, that's a great idea. You know, get them
doing martial arts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, there's some good fights. The Armenian. You see that the
Yeah. So I was upset about that. I wanted Charles to win.
okay.
You know, like I'm not upset.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm biased.
Yeah.
I thought it was a draw. I would have given a draw.
It was close, right?
You know,
They
like,
have to choose.
It was really
but
close.
it wasn't too crazy either way.
But like it was a great fight. You know, like
Great
and
fight,
jiu-jitsu
for
was
sure.
displayed, and I don't know how he got out of that. You know, like he got his legs out and boop, his head popped out.
Yeah. That
and
was close.
He was
said it was
tough.
close. Yeah.
He was tough because like he's not joking with those guillotines. You know, like he jumped guard and like.
Yeah.
And you looked at his face. He was like, whew. Yeah, it was.
Did you see him walking out like somebody said
Oh
something?
yeah, no.
And he
well,
punched,
him.
punched
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it after, and he just went like, bam, bam, he threw like little
Man,
nice
if
combo.
you're like if you're like 100 meters away or you're on the internet, whatever. But if you get in my face and you act like that,
I mean, he's supposed to be a professional, you know. He's
Yeah,
supposed to, you know, like,
yeah.
but like they're probably gonna get sued for it, you know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, whatever, you know. Like,
Yeah.
if it works for him, you know.
I mean,
like,
they have to like. That's why they have the guys on
the
either
side,
side,
yeah,
to protect them, right?
yeah.
I mean, because you're kind of amped up. You're like in a different
Mhm.
mode. You're
Oh,
ready to
completely.
go to battle.
I don't
to
know
go
what
to
he
war.
said, but like, I would like to know.
I
what
mean, the
you
fact
guys
that
said.
somebody's gets that close to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I saw it like a day after. I didn't know like he did that. And
Yeah,
like,
we didn't see it at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
it was-
you know, if you felt better after, I'm like, go for it. You know, like I wish like it was more like that in the real life. You know, like
yeah.
like especially with traffic in here, like, people drive me nuts. Like sometimes I would like just to get down and slap someone, but I can't. You know.
Man, so you live in LA now for how many years?
Now it's like eight
Eight.
years.
Okay.
8 years. So 8 years. 8
And you
years
lived
of
in New York?
jiu-jitsu.
You in New York for how long?
8 years.
8 years
also.
as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also in Paris.
In Paris, you know what? Paris, I hated it.
Okay.
I hated living in Paris. It was raining all the time, and I was like depressed all the time. You know, like it's. I was working, subway, sleeping, working, subway, working. You know, like that's all I was doing, and I hated it. And I moved to Cali instantly right after. I mean, you know, I moved back home.
How? Where? So what? So you live? You know, Paris. Those are like big cities, right?
Mhm.
Big cities in the world, like Paris, New York.
I mean,
LA.
it's a beautiful city.
Right.
If I go there 2 weeks, I'm really happy. If I live there, I'm miserable.
Gotcha.
You know, like,
gotcha.
but like going there 2 weeks is amazing. You know, like, and
What are the good things? What are the
the
things you love
culture,
about-
like, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful city. The architecture is nice. All the museums, like, the street vibe. Because here, there's no one walking in the street, right?
Right.
In Paris, you walk, you know, like
Cafes
you stop,
on
you
the
go to a
street,
little
yeah.
cafe, and you know, there's none of that here, right? So it's like I mean, it's like, you know, Barcelona or
Yeah.
like Paris or like all these like European cities. So you get to walk, to admire, and you know, like it's a beautiful, beautiful city, and I hope you enjoy it when you're going. You know, like
Yeah.
and yeah. But like living there was like just hell. You know, like I didn't like it at all.
Yeah. How about New York? What did you
Oh,
like? And
New York is nonstop, 24/7.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
the city that never sleeps, right?
exactly. And it's funny because I mean, right now it's like non-affordable. Like it's crazier than it gets here. Because here it was like
I thought it went down a little bit, like the prices.
during COVID. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
During COVID, the prices of the housing that went down, but like it went all the way back up.
Okay.
And so when I lived there, it was like it was interesting. You know, like you're alone in the city, you meet like people. It's not like LA. LA is like very people are from California, and like there's like like a different type of people that come here, but like they mostly come here for music. I mean, entertainment, like
Entertainment,
movies
yeah,
and like
acting.
acting and stuff like that.
And the industry.
In New York, there's a melting pot of different cultures. I've met so many different people, like Sweden, Norwegian, like from all over the world. You know, like there's like schools, and you know, like there's schools here too, but like there's a lot of schools in New York, like in art and stuff like that. And it was a great experience to live in New York. You know, like I went there, I had like $5,000, and went like in
In New York.
in New York,
Yeah.
and went away in like 2 weeks. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna go shopping, like, you know, like, And then you start to struggle. You need to look for a job, and you walk like 100 blocks a day in New York. You know, like, and like, okay, I'm gonna take the subway home, but you're looking for places. And yeah, I had great times in New York. It was a great experience.
Yeah. We went to this last summer.
And I had no idea, but I wish back in the day I've started training instead of like wasting my money on like stupid stuff. You know, like it would have been like a great. You know,
yeah, you could have started great jiu-jitsu out there.
Mm-hmm. And I was like,
Hanzo was there.
Yeah, and I was watching all the UFC events. You know, like I was watching all of them, but I was like, I didn't know there was like a jiu-jitsu scene in New York back in the day, but there was.
Hanzo moved there in 96, 6 or 7, something like that.
Mm-hmm. But when I was in New York, I was Muay Thai. There's with Phil Nurse.
Yeah.
There's Phil Nurse, and I trained a little bit with him. You know, like a couple like classes. Like I didn't know him personally, but like he was training there, and I did a couple classes. And there's Koban training there also. Like you know, like the mean left hook.
Yeah.
And
hold on, because I went to high school in New York, right? And so my dad was out there. I went to visit my dad before I moved to Brazil. Actually, went out there a couple times to visit him, and I was trying to find people in New York. So Hanzo, I just got there. Was that 90? I think it was 95, end of 95, beginning of 96. He just got there. Matt Serra was living at the gym basically during the week, and then the weekend he would go home to Long Island.
Oh, what about Tom DeBlas?
No, he's much.
Much.
Yeah, because Ricardo, he trained with Ricardo Almeida.
Okay.
Ricardo Almeida didn't, I think, move there till a couple years after that. But they were like the first crew of.
Yeah, I wish I would have.
Hanzo Black Belts.
I wish I would have known. You know, I wish I would like.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You know, I'm not like, you know, I like what happened with me, and you know, like I'm not regretting anything.
That's
you know,
it.
like
Yeah.
I live in the present. I don't live in the past. You know, like. But a lot of people make that mistake too. Live in the past, and you know, like have regrets, and I don't regret my life for anything. You know, like I have a beautiful daughter, and. You know,
maybe you wouldn't have.
I'm a Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and you know, like
maybe you wouldn't have made the friends that you made that you're gonna.
Exactly.
I think for life, you know,
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing. You want to be with the team, a crew that you're gonna be connected with forever.
Completely, yeah.
And what is that worth?
Like, there's no amount that's worth it. You know,
Exactly.
like it's worth everything.
Exactly.
Like I can't, you know, like put a price on that.
Right.
And yeah, you know, such great moments with all of them. You know, like UFC events. You know,
That's
like,
it.
And barbecues and I mean, like parties, and you know, like we all hang out. You know, like
that's it.
Yeah.
So you know, because it's different when you're coming up through the belts compared to like say you got your black belt already.
Yeah.
You know, from back in the day. And you came as a black belt, or would it be a different experience for?
Oh yeah, it would have been completely different. Yeah,
and also the stage of your life too, like a family and a daughter, you know. So yeah.
Oh yeah, it would have been completely different.
Everybody's on their own timeline.
Yeah, it would have been completely different. But like you know, sometimes I think about it.
Yeah,
know, like,
for sure.
Like, what if I trained there?
That's like one of the most common things I hear. I wish I
Yeah.
would have started earlier.
Yeah.
And I would say that same thing. Today's I'm glad. What matters is you're here now and doing it now.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. And you appreciate, right? You appreciate that you can do it now.
Oh, I love it. I'm here every day. I mean, I'm trying to be here every day. You know, like some days I can't. But you know, like if I could be here every day, I would.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Revive. You know, you talked about recovery.
Yeah.
Could you talk to me some of the recovery things and how it's been helping you?
Revive. Revive is. I haven't been as much recently because it's winter and it's cold. Like to get in there.
Plunge,
yeah, the cold plunge. But when you guys open, I was in there every day.
Yeah.
Every day, ploof, sauna.
Yeah.
You know, like
and the contrast therapy.
Yeah, and it's been working great. You know, like I did it last week, but I need to be more consistent with it. You know, like it was just, I mean, it wasn't that cold because it's in LA, but it was harder. It was definitely harder to get in there.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I went on vacation, and, you know, I came back from summer, and it's like colder, and you put your foot in there, like, you know, like I went in Europe, you know, like, and it was hard. You go to the beach, and you're like, do I want to put my foot in this right now? But like, yeah, I'm getting back into it. I went last week. I'm gonna probably go today. You know, like after training.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing. You know, like even the fascial therapy. You know, like what they do,
stretching.
like the stretching. It feels like really, really good. You know, like Ricky is great. Like Quan is great.
Yeah.
You know, like Quan does me more often because like Ricky is like weird with me. Like he doesn't want to do it.
Wants to choke you.
Yeah.
Just
No.
kidding. Like
No. I haven't rolled with Ricky in a while. Ricky, you need to roll with me more. If you listen, probably will. And but yeah, it worked great. You know, like it's such a, you know, like I do the contrast therapy most of the time. I like the cold better than the hot. I don't have a hard time, but I feel better in the cold than in the sauna. You know, like it's I guess it's preferences. You know, like but it's great for like cardiovascular. And it's great
so
for
many
everything.
benefits, right?
Recovery, like my knees feel a lot better from it. You know, like my joints, and you know, like I do sometimes I do the compression too. You know, like if I'm really sore, if I lifted, you know, like did like deadlifts and stuff. And it's great. Like the Real Life Center it's a great addition to the gym. You know, like it's great.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is the sauna. Like just
The
to do
sauna,
sauna with a friend too. You know, it's just one of my favorite things to do in life.
But
Yeah.
me, I like the plunge better.
No, I like
for
the cold,
example.
but what I like is both.
Oh yeah, both.
So like when it's summer or if it's like even spring, fall here, you know, it's okay to do because the cold plunge is nice to go in the cold plunge first because it's good.
But you have to finish with the plunge.
Right,
I mean, that's what
right. But the cold plunge first, just because it's hard on the mind, right? Like to get in there and get in the cold, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna hurt a little bit. So I like that, and then I do the sauna, and then I do finish with the cold plunge, right? And then now because it's it's kind of colder, right? And you're like,
exactly. Yeah.
So I just do the sauna first, and then I do the cold plunge, and then I usually go back to the sauna and the cold plunge. That's the flow.
But that plunge is freezing. You know, like I've
it's colder than ice.
And Ricky takes pride in making it cold,
making sure it's cold,
making sure it's cold. Because like like I went to like different places, like like and it's like at
in
40,
Hollywood.
In Hollywood,
places,
and it's like 45 degrees, and you come here, it's like 37. You're like,
Yeah.
there's a huge difference.
Yeah,
And
the water's moving in there. It's it's colder than ice.
He takes pride in pain. You know, he likes it, and that I mean, he stays in there for so long, and he's like, today I stayed 7 minutes. What did you do? I was like, 3. You know, I did my 3. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I can stay in there for 7 minutes. I did like 5 one time, but like the jet wasn't like, because it was
pumping
like
full blast.
So I stayed 5 minutes. I was like, I stayed 5 minutes. Like today I stayed 9 minutes. I'm like, okay, Ricky, whatever, you win.
I heard what's his name, the doctor for Dana White. What's his name?
I don't know.
I'm talking about the guy. He's on.
The guy they're saying he saved his life.
10 times. Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know.
Okay. Shout out to him, but he puts out some good videos, right? And he's just talking about how like
What's his name?
Gary Brecka. That's it, Gary Brecka.
I didn't know his name, but
Gary
I know
Brecka.
like he saved his life. He had like a unhealthy lifestyle, and like
He said he was gonna live to a certain like 50
you're
something.
gonna die
and
in
then-
10 years, something stupid like that. Yeah.
He's like and changed everything, right? So he's just talking about the cold exposure, right? Like staying cold for too long, and he says like 3 to 5 minutes is all you need.
Yeah, that's all I do. I do my 3
Because
minutes.
it's cool, like being uncomfortable, this and that, but also, it's like there's a benefit, right? Like what do you call it? Just it only benefits so much, right? Can be, I don't know if it's gonna be bad, but like that's enough. 3 to 5 minutes is like all we need.
That's what I do. I usually start sauna and then do plunge. I do like 25, 30 minutes.
Because you saw Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler, right? They stayed in there for like 30 minutes.
Oh,
on the show.
Whoa! It was at 50 degrees. It wasn't like that cold.
Okay.
It was like it was not like 30. It was like you cannot stay 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They would have died. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at least now they're gonna fight for real. I mean, let's see. But
We'll see if it happens.
we'll see. But like, I think he's so entertaining. He changed the game forever. So I'm not a fan, but like I really liked what
You
he's
appreciate what he did, what he's done.
Yeah, what he's done.
How much
And,
hype, how much excitement he brought to the sport.
And
he changed the game for a lot of athletes, a lot of fighters.
And I've heard this story. It's not a story, but like he went to train in a gym in Paris, right? As Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
He demolished everybody. He's a good grappler, but like people mostly underestimated. I mean, like, but he's really good.
Yeah.
He's really, really good. Yeah, and yeah, we'll see.
Have you trained jiu-jitsu out in Paris?
I went here and there. I mostly train in Nice, in the south of France,
Okay.
where I have a friend. Like, he has a gym, like, shout out to him if he watches it
Yeah,
one day.
yeah.
It's called the Coaching Lab.
Coaching lab.
And
Okay.
I think you fought this guy. I think you fought him. His name is Saif Toumi.
In MMA or jiu-jitsu?
I think in MMA, like, years ago. I'm not sure,
Saif.
but like Saif,
Okay.
maybe. But
I did my last fight in Montpellier.
yeah,
the south
maybe.
of France.
Mm-hmm.
I fought a Costa Rican though.
Okay, so wasn't
Maybe
him.
he was there. Maybe we fought on
Yeah,
the same
maybe
card.
he was. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure, but like, yeah, he's. I mostly train with him, and
Cool.
like, jiu-jitsu is getting more popular in France. In Paris, there's only a couple gyms. There's like, I think it's called Mako Team. Like, and there's like 3 Gracie Barras, like, and they're all like through the same guy. His name is Julien Casier.
Okay.
And he owns, like, I mean, I don't know him that well, but I think he's managing all 3 of them.
Okay.
And in Inicia, I train at the coaching lab, and like, the sport has evolved a lot, like, and because when I was going, like, let's say 5-6 years ago, I was a blue belt, purple belt, and they were like, kind of rusty with technique, but they're fighting, like, they're mean, and like, they have a lot of cardio, and it was like really interesting. Now they're getting good. Like, I went like this summer, I was like, I gotta survive. I had to survive.
Yeah, it's different game all over the world.
Yeah,
But Europe has gone crazy.
Yeah.
Gone crazy as far as many people training now all over Europe.
Yeah.
But all over the world now.
I don't. I haven't trained anywhere else but here and in France, so I'm not really sure. But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere, and it's getting more popular. And like, there's guys coming out, and like, there's beasts like everywhere. And
Yeah.
like, I'm just a humble like black belt, like, just trying to learn, and like, so
Yeah.
that's where I want the French to hold, and it's pretty funny.
What are your favorite? You said you like arm bars. What are some other favorite submissions you like?
I really like arm bars. Like, my main game is close guard, right? So I mean, I like everything. I like to roll around. Like, I like to experiment. I don't like to, be closed up when I roll.
Like
right?
like a holding and kind of like, is that what you mean? Like kind of stuck.
yeah,
like without moving. Without
well,
moving.
it depends what time. Like, I haven't competed in like a couple of years, so
Yeah.
like, when I'm training competing, I will like lock my guard and like work from there, right? And my mind is like, no points, no points, no points, no points. Like, and right now I'm experimenting. Like, I'm playing like different position. I'm working on specific stuff, and I'm like, working a little bit from everywhere. But I don't know where I was going with that. What was the question?
No, I was just asking you what submissions you like, and just just positions, So you kind of went into it.
I like a little bit of everything. Like,
Yeah.
my main game is close guard, so I like like the arm drag to the back, like cross collar, bow and arrows, like stuff like that. Arm bar setup. What do I like? I mean, triangles, like the whole like
Yeah.
old school like
Yeah.
triangle omoplata arm bars. You know,
Yeah.
like I that's what I get the most. Like side control, maybe I will get the Bravo choke and stuff like that. Like I'm not like, like in this complexity, jiu-jitsu is really simple. At the end of the day, like the more you make it complicated, the more complicated it is. But like if you like focus on one thing, like you're probably gonna get it. Like if you get your mind like too much stuff in your head,
Yeah.
you're like lost. It's like, oh, where do I go? What do I do? And it's like, just narrow it down.
Focus on one thing, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple things.
So I try to train like one thing at a time. Like I'm gonna do like, and like it's something I've been doing for a while. I'm gonna do only arm bars, and I'm gonna set up only triangles, and I'm gonna send it like only like to the back, and depends. Like, and I've been training with this guy, like to get out of stuff. Like we've been. Because I'm thinking of competing again. That was one of my goals when I started. I was like, one day I'll compete at Worlds as a black belt. But, like, not adults, I'm not, like, delusional. I'm like, going to get killed.
Masters is tough, man.
Oh, no. I know Masters
And
is
it's
tough.
cool. You
But
get
like,
to go against icons and legends.
yeah, I know. The champion of my division is Josh Inger. So I'm like, he's like a big name. And, wait, who won? So at Pens in Anthony's division, it was, Anthony had a great fight at Pens. And he fought like the winner of the division, and Anthony was, It was a big name. I don't remember right now, right off the top of my head, but Anthony's division like was a tough guy, and he had such a good fight. But like the guy who beat Anthony like did third. Anyway, yeah, there's a ton of tough guys and Masters. It's the biggest, like Masters Worlds is the biggest tournament of the year. There's like how many mats? Like 40?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the
There's
main
like
convention, Las Vegas Convention Center.
Yeah, I've gone every year since I've started jiu-jitsu, except last year I didn't go.
Professor Mark, me and Professor Mark, I took the guys from New Mexico to Vegas. And back in the day, it was Grappler's Quest, right? That was the first like Vegas tournament. And so they had like the tap out crew. It's like old school times. You know? People competed in no shirts or no rash guards or t-shirts, right? It was like or like surf shorts, you know, like straight up surf shorts. And it was in a high school gym. Yeah. You know, I went to the first one. It was like in 2000. It was in 2000. Okay. In Vegas. And I think Mark Bradford probably went the next year, maybe like 2001 or 2002, you know, one of the first ones. But to make it all the way to the main stage as far as like being in the main convention center in Vegas, right in the main one, right? It's like, wow, jiu-jitsu's come a long way.
How do you feel about that evolution? And
yeah, the first time they had it in the main convention center, I was like, jiu-jitsu's made it. I think I was actually with Professor Mark, just kind of reminiscing of that moment.
Where do you think it's gonna go? Do you think like it can get like even bigger? Because like if you go to these tournaments, like 40 mats, it's like a lot of people.
You know, like I'm wearing a wrestling shirt. My daughter started wrestling, right? And you know, it's in the schools, the high schools, and you know, not all the schools, but you know, and we went to the CIF, you know, and man, it was a high school filled with girls. Like they were all competitors. Like the full thing was all girls, like 32 girls a bracket. Yeah, you know. And so, man, she gets like maybe like 5, 6, the most, you know, girls in her bracket, you know. So it's a different, different level. It's okay. It's a different level of, you know, competition and so I don't know, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but it's not so big as some other sports. Is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course.
Compared to like wrestling, I love jiu-jitsu, and for example, wrestling, you can only do so long. It's like a short time, you know. Yeah. Even okay, you keep going, whatever. You're the best in the world, but like jiu-jitsu, you can do for most people. You can do for the rest of your life. We want to do this the rest of our lives.
Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, they're crazy. Like
I love the sport. I love what it's doing for athleticism and everything else, you know. But man, like jiu-jitsu, it's just also complete. It's all the stuff that you can and can't do, right? In grappling, right? It's everything. You can do you know. Of course, there's rules, sets with gi, no gi, this, that, IPGF, ADCC. But you know, like that's why I think you appreciate Professor Mark Bradford too, and like our old school, like you know, like we do everything, right? It's like a martial artist, right? You know, grappling, it's like just one rule set or just focusing on one thing. It's all grappling, all the things that work, right? So I think where it's gonna go, going back to your question, I think it's gonna keep growing because the world needs it. Yeah, the world needs it. I think that there's definitely gonna be maybe more maybe focused things, right? You know, for example, back in the day in the 90s, jiu-jitsu was very you know, like Valetudo. That was like the marketing of it, right? The UFCs with Royce Gracie, it working in a fight, and it still does. Like people come in, they want to know, hey, does this work in a fight? You know, I want to be able to defend myself, right? So I think that really put it like, okay, this is like a self-defense fighting thing, right? It works in a fight. So I think we have the UFC, but it's definitely gone into that. You have to focus on UFC. You have to focus on.
What about the Olympics? Do you think it's going to get there one day?
You know, well, the IBJJF, their goal is for it not to be in the Olympics, right?
Oh, okay.
Their goal is to make it like a fight. Because what happened with Judo was, you know, 100 years ago was very much like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But Diogo Arcano, his goal was to make it an Olympic sport. And for that, it needed to be more spectator-friendly. Yeah. and so they kept taking away stuff to make it more just throwing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they took away from the effectiveness of like
Of the sport.
of fighting, right?
Mhm.
Of fighting and self defense, right? And
Yep.
so they don't want to do that same mistake
Oh, okay.
with
they were-
IBJJF.
Yeah.
Is it right or wrong? I don't know. You know, I talked to a lot of the old school guys like Megaton, these guys, and they agree with that. You know.
Yeah, no, it's
But the Abu
it's
Dhabi-
fair point. It was just a question.
Yeah, sure. The Abu Dhabi Jiu-Jitsu Federation,
Mhm.
their goal is to make it an Olympic
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, yeah, I can see both points. You know, like I
Yeah,
understand both
I'm
points.
what you know.
It was just a question.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like,
No, it can go for me. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know if I really have a stance.
Mhm.
It would be cool to have an opportunity to go to the Olympics.
I mean, I felt like
But
if
it definitely
goes
changed-
to the
it'll
Olympics,
change.
the sport will just explode. You know, like, and-
Yeah, I think it'll change though. It'll
Mhm.
change one, and then two.
But you're kind of right. I don't want the sport like to change like the nature of it
Exactly.
of the sport. You know, like
Exactly.
you cannot do this technique and you cannot do
Right.
this and you
Right.
cannot do that. And it's been done already through IBJJF where
Right.
you cannot do certain techniques and
Exactly.
you know like you don't want it to happen
Exactly.
more than that.
Exactly.
You know, like, yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of what
completely get
they've
it.
kind of modeled a lot of the IBJF jiu-jitsu
Mhm.
like that kind of they can like kind of like judo, right?
Yeah.
With the suits and very official and very and there's a reason why like man people like punch refs and it was I mean man like Holmes Gracie like got a bad call and he
Really?
Knocked
I've never seen
out
that.
I forgot who it was, one of the refs that gave him a bad call against I think it was
Oh.
against Saturday or somebody like that. But stuff like that happened all the time, It was like hardcore, and then also the other thing is that I think it's very similar to judo.
Yeah.
They were trying to the fila grappling was trying to get like a submission grappling kind of a thing
Mhm.
into I don't know what they're trying to get, but they're trying to make it like maybe an Olympic sport, but I don't think it never kind of came together.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's good or if it's bad. It would be cool. Part of me it would be cool, but the other part of me is like you were saying,
Yeah.
you're realizing like, man, it's gonna change things.
Yeah, it's
right?
going to change things. And it's like people are not going to train old school jiu-jitsu anymore, and they're going to train for specific rule sets for the
Exactly,
Olympics.
and that's
yeah.
going to be known as jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, no, I mean,
And man, if you look at France, you look at all these different countries and how much jiu-jitsu has grown around the world, being an Olympic sport, I don't know if it's the best thing, right?
no, I mean, now that you proved this
And
point,
like
I
the
don't
Judo
think so.
Federation in France, they're trying to stop. You can't compete in both. Like they're trying to stop the jiu-jitsu from, because they even created their own Niwaza
Yeah.
kind of, I think, federation from what the guys were telling me. I'm not sure, but what I've heard. So I don't know if what's good and what's the right way. I'm
there's
I'm
no-
open, but I think a lot of the old school guys when they talk about
Yeah, they don't want it happening.
they don't want it happening.
Yeah, of course. I get it. I understand. But yeah.
Yeah, because it's nice because jiu-jitsu now encompasses everything. Like UFC, this, the gi no gi, right?
Yeah, completely.
Right? Like we do everything.
Yeah. What about ADCC? You going this year?
Man, one of my black belts was asking me to go with him, so I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah,
He's
me
like,
too,
you better go
I
quick.
don't know. This kind of screwed up because, like, like it was free seating before, and now they're like number seating. So
Oh, okay.
I want to go, but I don't want to sit like 9 hours by myself. Like, I mean, it's fun to watch,
Yeah.
but like, like
Maybe let's talk after. Let's maybe organize a crew. Because
yeah, but still
Tim came last time. He wanted to go and he wants to. Yeah, it was nice, but you have to go with the people.
yeah, I don't want to stay there 9 hours by myself.
No, no,
like
no.
it's
And
not
we should
fun.
organize like Bristol Bryan. He went to, and everybody. Some of the people were like separated. I was like, man, what are we doing?
Yeah.
we go as a
group. Yeah,
as a group. Yeah.
I don't know if I think Iris is going to
Thailand,
do,
right?
yeah, to Thailand to do
the trials.
the
She
trials.
won the Vegas Open, ADCC Vegas
Mhm.
Open.
Yeah, she did.
Shout out to Iris,
Yeah.
Legacy, West Adams.
She's really good. She's really good, and she's working towards it. It's
Yeah.
like really good.
I think
It's nice.
she could go.
Yeah.
She can make it for sure.
That would be amazing. Yeah, like, good for her. Like.
We better get our tickets, huh?
Yeah, well, if she goes, I'm gonna ask.
For
Like, I
sure.
don't-
We have to.
like,
Yeah.
Yo,
Scalp tickets
Yeah.
at that point.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, she needs to go to the tryouts. I don't know when they are, but like I'll look out for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Any last tips for white belts starting out, for tips for success?
Ah, like it's very like, you know, like the jiu-jitsu thing, but like the hardest thing is just to go. You know, like you just have to go and like keep on going and, you know, like show personality and keep on going, you know, like, because it's for white belts in the beginning, it's really hard, you know, like unless you're like Eddie, you know, like big Sheriff Eddie,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like life is difficult as a white belt when you start. So, you know, like try to find like a good partner that you can like drill with and get better with, and, you know, like try to, you know, like be consistent, just come into the gym and keep training, you know, like there's no secret. You're not going to be good like that, you know, like when I think about like my white belt days, like I got armbarred so many times, I got like choked so many times, and, you know, like little victories, little by little, you
Yeah.
get better. You know, like if you train every day, you can only get better.
Yeah.
You know, like there's days, of course, you like tired and you feel like shit, and you know, like I lost to this person, and it happens, part of it. You know, like
Yeah.
I get tapped like all the time. You know, like, and it's not making me any less or, you know, better. You know, like it's, I don't care. I don't have, you know, like when you start, you have ego. You know, like white, blue belt still, like maybe a little bit purple belt. I remember one time I submitted a purple belt, like I was a white belt.
A white
right?
belt.
I was a white belt. He like took his jacket off, his belt off, and he just tore that. I was like, "Oh, relax." You know, like I get tapped by white belts. You know, you teach
And
them.
you say good job, man. Good job,
Yeah.
man. That was awesome.
I
Good
mean,
work.
no, maybe not, but like, yeah, I think I got tapped by white belts. You know, like
It can
and
happen,
It
man.
happens. You know, like, and good
I've
for
seen
them.
my
You
master. My
teaching
master
them. You
is.
know, like,
Yeah, that's it.
you
That's it.
teaching them to tap you. What do you think's gonna
That's-
happen?
that's
You know,
it.
like,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
You know, you make a mistake, boom.
It's all good. It's
Like,
all good.
okay, you got me. And then you get him like 20 times. You know, they have to pay. You know, the price. But yeah, it's you know, white. You know, it was a great experience to be, you know, part of this community as a white belt. You know, like I was. You know, like we had a very tight crew. You know, like the crew was, you know, like Monica, Anthony,
Yeah, yeah,
Brian, like that's the whole crew that came over here when like it moved to Legacy West Adams, and it was great. You know, like we had a tight community. It was hard for other people to come in though. You know, like once you have like such a tight community
yeah,
within a
I
group,
remember,
it's hard like for outsiders to come in. And I was an outsider, and I was just being patient and being myself, and like they welcomed me.
Yeah.
You know, like after a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
it didn't take that long for them to all be my friends. You know, like,
Yeah.
and we used to have fun. We enjoy.
But it's good lesson too for us, right? To not be like cliquey and just be
Yeah.
open to everybody and treat
Mhm.
everybody good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm when I teach, I'm open to
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
and I'm not being like, oh no, not you, or like I'm really trying to be helpful to everybody and
Yeah.
like be, you know, like the best I can be.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you most grateful for in your jiu-jitsu journey?
Most grateful for?
Yeah.
I don't know. The most grateful. Oh, I'm grateful for a lot. I mean, it's a hard question. Because I'm grateful for a lot of stuff, you know, through jiu-jitsu, maybe a better person, you know, like, I could have stayed, like, working and do parties, you know, like, and be, like, a douchebag, you know, like, sometimes I have a little bit of that, you know, like, I'm a really close person, you know, like, I had some, you know, like, hard encounter with friends and, like, bad experiences, so now I shut myself off from people, except when I'm here, you know, when I'm in jiu-jitsu, I'm, like, open, and I can make like stupid jokes or, you know, like be closed up, and, you know, like I'm not a person that's gonna like, you know, like I'm not like that, you know, like I'm really, you know, like doing my own stuff, and, you know, but once I'm your friend, I'm like your friend, so, you know, like be ready, you know, like I'm, you know,
You're loyal.
I'm loyal, yeah, I'm loyal to friendship, you know, so that's why I put like a barrier defense.
You don't let people in.
Yeah, I don't let people in that. I mean, not. I let people in, but like
I know what you're saying.
I'm testing people, you know, like it's that kind of, I mean, Virgo stuff where you test people before, you know, you let them in, you know, like I say dumb stuff sometimes to like, how is he gonna react, you know, like, and then, you know, like you start, that's funny. I was like, okay, you cool, you know, just come. But yeah, grateful. I'm grateful for all the friendships that I got here. I'm grateful for being tougher. I'm grateful, you know, like, to be healthy. I'm grateful for my daughter, you know, like it was amazing, you know, like she's gonna start soon, so be
Yes.
ready, you know, like
Yes.
She's gonna be 3. How old is like the youngest? Like
Yeah,
3?
3, yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be 3 in August. So like so I can be here even more. Take her to school, bring her, up, and then teach, and then roll. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool. I'm really excited about it. But I was like, oh no, I think she needs to go dancing. I'm like, I mean, it's fun for girls, but like I want her to be able to defend herself. Like I'm like tennis is better.
Yeah, right. They say like martial arts and well, like the Kelly Slater famous saying, right? That's been said over and over and over. The best thing you do for your kids is to put them in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really? You said that?
Yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
know that.
Oh, yeah, it's one of his like.
That's great.
People even make funny memes with that same quote because it's been said so many times.
You know who I want to really start jiu-jitsu is my wife. I really love my wife, but she never can pull the trigger.
Have her come to? You know the schedule. You know the
Yeah,
Saturday
I know
morning.
the schedule. Like
The
but
women's
like
only.
I'm gonna try to trap her. Like just do tack fit. Just put on the gi. Like try to trap her like that. But like I've been trying, but like she's really like I love my wife. She's working hard and like she's trying to make her lives better. Like she has a good job and it's great. But I really would like her to try. Like so try jiu-jitsu, please. Anyway, thank you.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. How can people find you?
Sorry?
How can people find you?
Find me?
Yeah.
You know what? That's my default. I'm not like a social media guy. Like I'm like posting. I post and ghost. Post and ghost. I
Post and ghost.
like.
That's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And like I feel like I'm. Like if I get on my phone and start looking at stuff, I just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It's like, so I'm trying not to scroll too much and try to be off. Because the only thing what I really watch on Instagram is jiu-jitsu, like technique and breakdowns
So
and
much
stuff
content.
like that. Yeah, there's a lot of content, but like it's like balance in life, There's good stuff and it has to balance with like a ton of shit pile of dumb stuff, but people can find me here. I'm here every day.
That's it.
I'm here every day, like and
Legacy Burbank, shout
Legacy
out.
Legacy Burbank, shout out.
7:30 Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Come to his class.
Yeah, and come. What is this week? It's X Guard, and
Yeah.
X Guard, passing the X Guard, all that good stuff. Yeah. And
Awesome. Thank you, brother.
Thank you
for your
very much.
friendship.
Thank you very much, and awesome. Thank you. It was cool.